Emotions aren't simply contained to the human face and the body. There's a lot of other things happening around us emotionally. There's emotion in art and music and drama and poetry and scenery, and more pragmatically, in a room. The mood in the room is a series of emotions. It's like a bouillabaisse where everybody brings their emotions into the room and we create an emotional setting. And so the key question here is, can you see that and read it congruently? And what I mean by congruently is see it as most other people see it. And if you're walking into a meeting and you think it's exasperated and flat and bored and everybody else thinks it's excited and engaged, and you're leading the meeting, you're going to have some really incongruent behaviours in response to that. So people who are really good at this can really quickly walk into any environment and just know what's going on. So this is a frequent conversation I have with senior leaders that I coach, leaders in general, about, well, that's interesting, reading a mood in the room, but what do I need to do about it? So a couple of pieces of advice that I would give you here. The first thing is, and let's talk about a meeting that you're running. The first thing is, I would never, ever just rock up to a room and hope that the room was okay. And I'd be saying to them, come to the room even the day before and be organised around its physical setup. Is it a room that you want to be well lit? Do you want it to feel like a lounge room or a conference room? Is the seating comfortable? What's the ambience? What's the noise level? How much light is there? Are you going to have meal breaks? How and when? So that you've got a real physicality around it. The room and the setting in the room is important depending on what you're doing. If you're giving really tough feedback, you don't want to be doing it in the cafeteria, for example. If you are doing brainstorming and really deep thinking with futuristic elements to it, you want a room that's conducive to that. So preparing the space so that the mood is useful really helps. And then the second thing, of course, is you're in there and you're reading what's going on. And the best advice I can give you is to withdraw from the content for a second and really look attentively around the room and try to pick up a sense of what the vibe is. And you don't have to be over clever about it, but is it upbeat, bubbly? Is it flat, neutral? Is it distracted, bored? Don't over-label it. Give yourself a kind of permission to be able to scale it in a way which is manageable for you, because everything you then do relates to that mood. If you can't get that match between what's happening in the room and what you're doing, you will get an activity mismatch. And I'm sure you know this when you've gone to meetings and they're just not working and you're ploughing on, thumping away, stuck in the task, but you're not reading what's going on. Great facilitators, and you've seen them do this all the time, they're constantly attentive to what's happening in the room. And you'll see them playing and adapting that to suit that circumstance. A formidable skill for a leader.